or lease in the morning.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Badger News. I'm your host, as always, the friendly neighborhood Simpsons kid, Maximilian Derrat. Welcome to the very first Breaking Badger episode of 2018. It's going to be a year of partying and heavy drinking. At least that's the way I like to handle it. Anyways, there won't be any cutesy intro, aside from me introducing my lovely panelist, Hannah Wallen. It's hard for us to communicate at the moment because my internet sucks a cornucopious amount of penis, so we're just gonna have to jump right into the story and see if we can edit this together. Alright, so, on April 28th, 2016, some of you might know this. I would be surprised if the people that we're preaching to did not know this. Mark Meechan, also known as Count Dankula, and that's the name he gave himself, not the name that I gave him, was arrested by Scottish police for the publication of offensive material online. Detective Inspector David Cockburn said the following on the issue. Quote, posting offensive material online or in any other capacity will not be tolerated, and police will act swiftly to tackle hate crimes that are motivated by malice or ill will because of faith, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, or disability. Dankula's crime, in case you guys don't know about this, consisted of the following. He taught his dog, a pug named Buddha, to raise its paw after he said the words, Sieg Heil. He also got his dog to react overzealously when he said, quote, gas the Jews. And then he recorded both of these acts on video. Now, Dankula said in the video that he did this to annoy his girlfriend. His girlfriend thought the pug was adorable, and in order to troll her, he decided to teach the dog to do what he says is, quote, one of the most horrible things he can think of. So by teaching the dog to Sieg Heil, he understands that it's terrible. I don't know how the legal system works in Scotland, but apparently the prosecutors named the depute fiscal. During the trial that was anticipated for the last year and a half, which occurred on January 5th, the depute fiscal said the following. This is not some 2.5-hour production with many shards every half hour. This is a toxic, there's that word, distillation of what he may call the best bits of his video. He was made very, very sure the phrase gas the Jews is repeated over and over and over again. Any reasonable person would suffer fear or alarm having heard that awful phrase uttered over and over and over again. Christ. YouTube pundit Lauren Southern was at the trial and tweeted out the results of the trial, which was at the moment, no verdict, and I think the next trial date is going to be in March. In a tweet, she said the following in response. This is absolutely unacceptable. The Crown is literally better at bogging down the legal system than criminals themselves. She also claims in a video on her YouTube channel that was covering the whole event that the Crown argued Dankula wanted to, quote, fill football stadiums full of Jews and murder them. Now, Hannah, at my tender age of 24, I find myself getting more and more drawn away from humanity and losing faith, but have you grown accustomed to this? Do you just not feel it anymore? Because this is the fact that the Scottish police are spending this much time on this particular quote-unquote crime instead of going out there trying to prosecute real criminals. What does that do to your personal faith?
Actually, it doesn't necessarily affect my personal faith in humanity, because I've seen stuff like this happen before and get made fun of before in media, and then I've seen it waxes and wanes. Monty Python made fun of this kind of thing during their tenure with their show, prior to any of their movies or any of their worldwide fame, and they had essentially the silliness police. I cannot remember what the sketch was, but the cop would come, oh, this is entirely too silly, and stop the sketch, and that seems to be what's going on today. Is we have it's like that line from Men in Black with with Kay going, we at the FBI do not have a sense of humor. It's everybody in the legal system, everybody on the social justice end of things, they don't have a sense of humor. That's why it was taken seriously when he used his pug to make fun of the Germans. Because that's basically what he was doing. He was ridiculing Nazis from Germany. and all big deal. I mean, ridiculing Nazis is something that's been done for, well, since the war. And in fact, Mel Brooks kind of made a living doing it. You know, what would they do to Mel Brooks in Scotland today for some of the jokes in his movies? Would they take those seriously too? I mean, jeez. So no, it's not so much that it wrecks my faith in humanity, is that I'm looking at this as this is when the pendulum has swung as far as it's going to go in that direction, and now we're in a situation where it is being argued in court that a guy is collaborating with a dog to bring back Nazi beliefs in a country where they were never espoused. No, I guess that's it. It's got to go back the other way now. It's to the point where what else are we going to argue in court? It's as bad as having it argued in court that the honey badgers are actual space lepers.
Yeah, I suppose I should have guessed that would be your stance, considering that you have gone through something like this in respect to what the honey badgers went through with the Calgary Expo and stuff like that. I guess, people like you, Hannah, you give me hope for my future, because I just remind myself, okay, I'm still really, really young. I still have lots of years to go through this so that I can develop the resilience to be able to power through this crap. Look, what is it about absurd humor that so many people just don't understand? It's almost like the rest of the world. I guess this is what people see when they look at me. And I'm, like, in case people don't know this, I have high functioning autism, right? I guess the reaction that I'm feeling when I look at all this autistic shit is what people see when they look at me doing autistic shit. But, you know.
Okay, I could barely understand most of what you are saying. It came through so robo. But, I could hear the word autistic, and all I can say on this is that, like I said, this pendulum goes back and forth. You saw this in post Roaring 20s. There was this backlash against the sort of free attitudes and the free and happy, go lucky kind of behavior and everything. And then in the 60s, in comedy television and everything, there was a backlash against the stuffiness of the 40s and 50s, and that continued on through the 70s and 80s, and then the 90s came along with, oh my God, how dare you guys talk like that? PC culture took this climb, this insane climb, and you started the 21st century with a sort of a return to a little common sense in terms of what could be talked about, what could be said and everything. And of course now the social justice types have started this PC culture climb again. So I mean, in a way, yeah, it's an autistic type of behavior, but in a way it's also it's a sensibilities issue. And you've got people at extreme ends of the sensibilities spectrum sort of in a battle, and everybody that's in the middle is getting sort of smashed or pulled in between them, where you have the extreme PC end thinking nothing is funny, and then you've got the like Amos Yee and his pedo stuff, where you can't tell the difference between what he says in apparent jest, everybody says it's in jest, and what pedo acceptance apologists actually say in real life and mean it. And then you've got, people in the middle who, like Count Dankula, are getting sort of smashed by the PC reaction to that. So, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily put it to a lack of capacity to parse the humor, so much as a lack of tendency to parse the humor. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, I heard the last part of what you said, if any of what you said made sense. I'm assuming that, you're a wise individual, Hannah. I'm sure everything that you said was wise and concise, and everybody will appreciate it. But unfortunately, I was unable to hear it because my internet sucks. And at the moment, I'm determining whether or not I'm losing more faith in humanity or in my internet connection. Anyways, I'm going to have to wrap it up on that basis alone. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking through it with us, just as Hannah and I have stuck it through recording this. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you have anything that you want to say in response to what we said about the situation, or you want to respond to the Count Dankula trial directly, make sure you leave a comment down below. We love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. We always have tons of stuff going on over here at Honey Badger Radio, whether we're doing the live streams, or we're doing the Breaking Badgers, or we're doing Hannah's show. And I want to thank Hannah for joining me on such short notice and doing it with me a little bit early before she had to go to work. And until next time when we do this again, hopefully with a better internet connection, have a lovely, lovely day.